All right, so it's me again. Today has been the day from hell. So I quit my job teaching. I'm not a fan of constantly going to work and having things thrown at me or having to restrain a child and there's no actual clinical diagnosis of why the child is acting the way they are. Excuse me while I look for my, because it has been that type of day. So yeah, I today was my breaking point. I just I couldn't anymore. And if that wasn't enough to make you want to drink, my youngest son's school called, well, the assistant principal called and informed me that he was not supposed to be back at school today. And I'm like, yeah, that smells so good. Yeah, he is supposed to be back at school because his therapist released him. We did the therapy appointment, we did everything you told us to do, and they should already have faxed the letter over to you saying that he's okay and he can be back at school. And then my day got even more exciting. So I go to, well, after I quit my job, because I just packed my shit and left, I go to, well, I'm on the way down the road to pick him up. And on the way down, I'm in a conference call with his teacher and his speech therapist because it's his annual IEP meeting. So I had already been trying to call the doctor's office to see what was going on. No answer, no answer, no answer, no answer, no answer. So I look online to make sure I'm dialing the right number. And their site says, the information for them says that they are permanently closed. And I'm like, there's no way you guys are permanently closed. We were just there Thursday. Everything was okay. The lady told us she was going to write a prescription for him to go back to have his meds or his new meds. Okay, so after I get to the school, I go in, I go to the classroom, finish the IEP meeting in person. I'm flustered as it is. So I check him out of school and we proceed to go to the therapist's office. So I'm like, okay, I can just pick it up in person and I'll bring it back to the school so that we can go ahead and do what we need to do to have him back in school. I pull up at the doctor's office, and to my surprise, there is a DEA agent standing out in front. I'm like, oh my God, they've called the folks on my child because of some things that he's done. To my surprise, no, it was not for my child. It was for the doctor's office. The DEA approaches me. He's like, are you going in here? And I'm like, yeah, I need to pick up something. And he was like, no, they're closed. And I'm like, okay, so when will they be reopened? He was like, no, they're not. They're permanently closed. I'm like, no, like, nope. We were just here Thursday. Everything was fine. I need to get this letter for my son. And I need to see what's going on with their prescription. He was like, you got a prescription out of here? I was like, yeah. Like the doctor told me, the prescription, 48 hours. He was like, nah, the doctor's been locked up since October. I was like, okay, well, maybe. I was like, no. I was like, it's the lady with the funny name. He was like, oh, yeah, she locked up too. So the lady with the funny name is one of the nurse practitioners. So apparently there's been a lot of craziness going on with them because since the doctor has been locked up since October, they have apparently still been running the psychiatrist's office as if nothing was wrong and as if she was available to run the practice. Awesome, right? I know. It just gets better and better. So I am now frantic because my child has to get back in school because in the state of Georgia, if your child doesn't go to school, they call the cops on you. So I called the school trying to explain to them what's going on. They're like, yeah, whatever. He still has to go see a therapist. And I'm like, no, he went to see a therapist, but they closed them. The DEA is there right now. Like, watch the news because one of his other teachers who he stays after school with or was staying after school with sent me, it smells so good, a screenshot of the news story from the local news station. I didn't even know that it had made the news. Like, I had no clue it had made the news. So I have spent the latter part of my day trying to find a new psychiatrist and a new therapist for my child. I am crossing my fingers that the person that I have called will work out in our favor and she can help with this situation that we have going on with my son. Will help me. That's why when I tell people, sometimes it's not about me even having, sometimes I just need someone to talk to, like, so I can vent and just get everything off my chest and I don't feel like I'm holding everything in. I mean, the video journaling, it helps and it lets me rant and it lets me vent. But sometimes you need an actual person to talk to just to kind of get a little, feedback or whatever. So that has been how my day has gone today. So needless to say, I had to make a trip to the liquor store because it had come to that point. It's at that point. And also I've realized today that a lot of men aren't shit. I've been hit on by a married man today. Sorry, I'm still dealing with this cough cold thing. And I was invited on a date only to realize that this motherfucker said he just wanted to smell my pussy. And people wonder why I am the way I am. I don't ask much of people. I ask that you be honest, you communicate, and just be yourself. What I do not tolerate is disrespect and married men who don't seem to understand your vows are supposed to be sacred and you should honor them. I can't. I can't. I can't. That's been how my day has gone today. I've had the shittiest of all shitty days. And I know people was just like, man, it seems like every time she uploads a video, something's going on. Well, that's just how it is. That's life. Like, everything over here is not always peaches and creams and lovely smelling roses. It gets real in my life. I have shitty days, I have shittier days, and I have the shittiest of all shitty days. And in between, you sprinkle in some good days. And I try to make the best of any situation possible. I have laughed so much today because I'm just like, if I don't laugh, I'm going to have a serious breakdown. Like, I could I still feel it coming now. It is after 11 at night and I can still feel it rising up in me. Like, as I speak now, I feel like I'm about to just burst into tears. Call me what you want to, look at me how you want to. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what real life looks like. Every day is not hunky dory. It's not.